The sky has changed so quickly. The rain is getting heavier, and people here are watching the mountains very carefully.
It looked like an ordinary storm a few minutes ago. Now the ground is already turning into a sheet of water.
The water is coming downhill from the fields. It is moving much faster than I expected. People are moving whatever they can save. Nobody knows how high this water will get.
That road was dry when I arrived. I don't think I can safely cross it now. Wait, this is not just rain anymore. The flood is coming down from the valley.
That wall just gave way. The water is soaking through everything. Everyone is trying to reach higher ground. People are carrying only what they can hold.
This was someone's home only a short time ago. Now the water is inside the rooms.
People are trying to save their animals too. For many families, livestock is their livelihood.
The road has disappeared under the water. There is no safe way through here. It is getting dark and the rain has not stopped. Tonight is going to be very difficult for these families.
The rain has finally eased. The damage is much worse than it looked last night.
This valley has been hit extremely hard. Whole sections of the settlement are covered in mud.
It is hard to recognize these as houses. The walls have simply dissolved into the ground. People are searching through the mud for anything they can save. Clean drinking water is already becoming a serious problem. The flood has turned the water sources brown.
Families are sleeping wherever they can find a dry piece of ground.
The bridge is still standing, but the road leading to it has been washed away.
This road connects people to the rest of the valley. Right now, it is simply gone.
There is a helicopter above us. Rescue teams are trying to reach people who are still cut off. The biggest problem is access. So many roads and paths have been damaged. People are beginning to receive basic supplies, but there is still so much to replace. I have moved toward Takhar, where other communities were also hit by the same severe rains. The fields are covered in water and mud. Losing a harvest can affect a family for an entire year. The water has gone down, but the mud it left behind is everywhere. Food stores have been damaged too. What survived the water now has to be dried quickly. The mountains here make the flooding feel even more sudden. Water can come down a valley very quickly.
This path is no longer safe. A few meters of road have simply disappeared.
People are gathering together because some houses are no longer safe to stay in.
The ground is already soaked and another storm is coming. That is what worries me most.
Everyone is moving their things higher this time. Nobody wants to be surprised again.
It is raining hard again. After everything that happened, every sound of water feels frightening.
This morning there is even more mud. The water keeps finding new paths through the village.
People are helping the elderly first. In a disaster like this, neighbors become the emergency team.
The road toward the district center is blocked. Getting food or medical help will be much harder.
The damage is spread across a huge area. I am heading toward Ghor to see what happened there.
This is Firoz Koch in Ghor province. The flooding here has left entire streets covered in mud. These shops were flooded, and people are trying to see what can still be saved.
The water reached inside the houses. Cleaning this much mud will take days.
Everyone is clearing mud by hand because the streets have to be opened again. The road has been torn apart here. Even a short journey can become impossible.
The river is still running extremely high. I am staying well away from the edge. Aid is arriving, but the needs are enormous. Clean water and shelter are especially important. Some families are cooking outside because their homes are still too damaged to use. Even after all this, the children are still finding small moments to be children.
From up here, you can see how much of the valley has been affected. It is difficult to take it all in.
The flooding has also reached Faryab. Another community is dealing with the same destruction.
Some of these homes cannot be lived in anymore. People are trying to recover whatever they can.
The fields have been cut apart by the water. Farmers will have a very difficult season ahead.
Livestock losses are another heavy blow. For a rural family, an animal can be a major part of their income.
The cleanup has already started. People cannot wait for everything to dry before rebuilding their lives.
They are already rebuilding one wall. It is simple work, but it means the family can come home. Clean water is one of the most important things people need after a flood. We're here helping distribute it.
For the first time in days, the sky is quiet. I hope it stays that way tonight. I have seen the same story in different places. Water arrives quickly and the recovery takes much longer. What stays with me is how ordinary everything looked before the water came. Then, in a few hours, people's lives changed.
There is no way to replace everything people lost. But small practical help can still matter. The village is starting to look familiar again, but the scars are still everywhere.
Rebuilding has begun. It will take time, but this is the first sign that life is moving forward. After everything I saw, I think the most important thing is simply that people have somewhere safe to sleep tonight. The flood may be over, but recovery is only beginning. These families will be rebuilding for a long time. This was Afghanistan in the floods of May 2024. The water destroyed homes and roads, but the people are still here, cleaning, rebuilding, and carrying on.